Good afternoon, everybody. It's Miss Sarah, and I'm here in my own home. And I wanted to share a story with you guys. I thought it would be perfect to do a cat-ish story time. We're going to be reading a cat story, and I have a cat named Tootsie. Here, come here, Tootsie. Oh, goodness, she's laying on the books. Say hello, Tootsie. She says, hello, world. But she's laying on the books, and we're going to read one of her favorite books too. So, guys, since I'm by myself right now, I can't tickle the clouds very well, so y'all know the drill. So tickle the clouds, stand up, tickle the clouds, tickle your toes. Can you reach down and tickle your toes? Can you turn around and touch your nose? Can you crouch down low, get real low, and reach up high? Story time is starting. Let's sit down and wave hi. Yes, you'll be seeing a little furry wand, Tootsie's tail, probably coming in and out of the camera. But the first book I'm going to read is Dewey, There's a Cat in the Library. Have you all ever read this book? Since we're not in a library, I thought it would be kind of proper to read a book about a cat in the library because Tootsie loves books and, well, Tootsie's a cat. What color is this cat? Is she orange? Yeah, red, beautiful, and white and cream. She's gorgeous. Or he. So Dewey, There's a Cat in the Library by Vicki Myron and Brett Witter, illustrated by Steve James. And the publishing company is Little Brown and Company, located in New York. I'm going to try to show everybody the pictures a little bit better. And hopefully the glare won't be too bad. Got my windows open. Or the window shades open. Every night, people left books in the return box of the library in the small town of Spencer, Iowa. There were funny books, big books, truck books, pig book books, and they left them all. But one night, on the coldest night of the year, someone left a strange surprise. What do you think that surprise was? A kitten? A tiny kitten. Oh my goodness. When Vicki the librarian found him the next morning, the kitten was cold. Can you be cold? Whew. And scared. Have you ever been scared before? And very, very dirty. Have y'all ever been very, very dirty? Have y'all played mud pies or anything? Vicki took one look and decided to give him a warm bath. The kitten went into the sink, brown and crying. But he came out orange and purring. What does a cat sound like when they purr? Do they go, roar, roar, roar? I'm going to keep you, said Vicki, who already loved him. We'll name you Dewey Read More Books. You can live here and be our library cat. Aw, isn't that precious? Dewey is a cutie. But Dewey had no idea what it meant to be a library cat. So he did what all kittens do. He played. He lounged on the newspaper. Cats like to lay on things. Oh yeah. He rode the book cart. You see him riding the book cart. And knocked pins to the floor. Someone here is notorious for doing that. He goofed around with Marty Mouse. He snooped in every open drawer. It's another thing that someone does here. And always found at least one rubber band. I try to hide my hair ties in rubber bands because Tootsie might get choked. Uh-oh. Tootsie's getting excited. She's trying trying to jump on the computer. But what Dewey loved most of all was people. Just like Tootsie. Tootsie's a very, very friendly cat, and she loves people, and she loves to play. She loved tall ones, round ones, quiet ones, and loud ones. The little ones, however, surprised him, and not always in a good way. "Look, Nathan," said his mommy. "There's a cat in the library." Nathan bent down and said, "Hi, Hooey Dooey Ukes." "No," said his sister Hannah. "It's Dewey read more books." Dewey squirmed. "Can you squirm?" The boy was petting him in the wrong direction. Uh-oh. Do cats like to be petted backwards? No, they like to be petted frontwards, from their head to their tail. Dewey loved to be petted, just like Tootsie. But he hated being petted in the wrong direction. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Dewey was licking his fur back into place when he heard a strange noise. Wah! Dewey's ears perked up and he looked around. Wah! Wah! Dewey sprang to attention and crept really slowly towards that sound. I keep playing with Tootsie, y'all. I'm sorry. Surprise! The little people, Dewey discovered, came in tiny sizes too. And they love to giggle. Can you giggle for me? And grab. And coo, coo, coo. Babies are wonderful, Dewey thought. Cute and smellicious too. That's precious. That is so cute. A few days later, Dewey went exploring and discovered in a secret room the most exciting thing he had ever seen. It was children's story time. Oh my. Has anyone here ever been to Miss Sarah's story time? I have. I'm Miss Sarah. Wowsy whiskers, this looks fun, Dewey thought, as he pushed into the room with his nose. Have you ever seen a cat push with its nosy? I have. Someone shouted, "There's a cat in the library!" Uh-oh. Dewey froze. It was quiet for 1 minute. Then everything went wild. Oh my goodness. Does Dewey look scared? He looks like he's saying, "Oh no! There's little people running after me." And the next thing Dewey knew, he was being carried upside down. Do you see that? Oh my goodness. Oh my, Dewey thought. What should I do now? Poor Dewey. I don't think Tootsie would appreciate being held upside down. Late that night, Dewey talked to his friend Marty Mouse. "The library is a wonderful place," Dewey said, "but I'm tired of being pulled and poked and carried upside down. I'm just not a cat in a library. I'm a library cat. A library cat helps people, I think, and I'm 92% convinced that that's the reason I'm around." Marty Mouse didn't say a word. "I want to do it," said Dewey. "I want to help people." And he felt so happy that he threw Marty Mouse into the air, kicked him with his back legs, then slept on him like a pillow. Yes, Miss Tootsie has a Marty Mouse. Sort of. She's got a little stuffed Garfield. It's in my bedroom. She throws up in place or leaves little presents for me and puts Garfield on the bed or in my shoe or little places, guys. She's a funny cat. The next morning, when the first people arrived, Dewey was waiting to greet them right by the front door. Oh, that's sweet. All morning, Dewey acted like a library cat. He read with the mommies and grandmommies. He helped the daddies work. In the briefcase, cats love suitcases and bags and boxes. He even shelved books with the library clerk. When he saw little Nathan, he turned a circle and a half so the boy could pet his back from his head down to his tail, which is the right direction to pet a cat. I'm glad we're friends, Dee Wooly, Nathan said. And Dewey smiled at that. By lunchtime, Dewey was worn out. Phew. So he found a good box. First, he put his front paws inside, then his belly. He squished his back end down. He wiggled around. Are you going to come up here? Yep, there she is. Until he was all the way in and closed his eyes. Can you close your eyes? Tootsie likes to rub her head on books, by the way. Oh, she's down. There's an orange muffin in the library, a girl giggled. Oh my goodness. Does that look like an edible orange muffin? No. But just as Dewey was about to drift off into sweet kitten dreams, he heard a heavy sigh. His eyes popped open, and he saw a girl on the other side of the library. A sad little girl, reading very quietly all by herself. Can you make a sad face? He climbed up close and stared at her. She looked the other way. He sniffed her hand. You sniff. She wouldn't play. He knocked her mittens to the floor, and she let them stay. Then he saw her jacket and had his best idea yet. What do you think Dewey's gonna do? Silly always works. I'll be a silly cat today. I think that's a lot like Little Miss Fluff here. The girl stared at Dewey. You look like a fuzzy hot dog in a purple bun, she says. That's close to home too, little Tootsie. And then she surprised him. She laughed right out loud. I love you, Dewey. Read more books, the girl whispered as Dewey nestled into her lap and began to purr. That purr, purr, purr. This is it, thought Dewey. I'm a real library cat, and it feels great. No, it felt better than great. It felt perfect. The end. That's a cute book, and it's based off of a true story, which is super fun. But anyways, that's one of Tootsie's favorites. And another one of her favorites that she keeps laying on here is Ferdinand. Because Tootsie, I hope I'm not going to give it away, but she loves to smell flowers, y'all. So, yep, she's excited about this one. So this is the story of Ferdinand by Monroe Leaf and drawings by Robert Lawson. Let's see who the publisher is. I think it's by Viking Publishing Group, by the Penguin Company. So, once upon a time in Spain. Has anyone ever been to Spain? I have. It's gorgeous, y'all. There was a little bull, and his name, what do you think his name was? Ferdinand. that? What's that little insect there? Is it a butterfly? All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. See? Are they running and jumping and butting their heads together? But not Ferdinand. See Ferdinand? He liked to just sit quietly and smell the flowers. Can you smell flowers? Oh, they smell good. Tootsie likes to smell the flowers, and then she sneezes, like a lot of us do. She's got allergies. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. You see the cork tree? It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. I'm about putting Tootsie to sleep reading. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here where I can sit just quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. My goodness. Does he look big and strong? He does. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. That sounds painful. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. Ooh. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fattest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting and leaping and jumping so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. You see them running around, butting their heads, snorting. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. You see Ferdinand? He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, what did he sit on, guys? A bumblebee. Oh my goodness. What does a bumblebee do? Do they sting and they hurt? You think Ferdinand liked to be stuck by a bee? I doubt it. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that is just what this bee did to Ferdinand. Does Ferdinand look happy? No, he looks surprised and in pain. Wow, did it hurt! Has anybody here gotten stung by a bee? I have. It's not fun. Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around, puffing and snorting and butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him, and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest, fiercest bull of all. Just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. My goodness, Ferdinand is putting on a show, isn't he? So they took him away for the bullfight in a cart. Does Ferdinand look happy? No. Poor little Ferdinand. Has anybody here watched the movie Ferdinand? I have. I like it. What a day it was. Flags were flying. Bands were playing. A big celebration going on, doesn't it look like? And all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. Do you like flowers? Tootsie said, yeah, I do. They had a parade into the bull ring. Fella on a horse. First came the banderilleros with long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Ugh, that sounds awful. Painful, too. Next came the picadors, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Good golly, that does look really painful there. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Does he look very proud? He sure does. Then came the bull. And you know who that was, don't you? Who was it? You see him? It was Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderilleros were afraid of him, and the picadors were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. They look pretty scared, don't they? They sure do. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted, "Woohoo! Hey!" and clapped. Can you clap? Because they thought he was going to fight fiercely, and butt and snort, and stick his horns around. You see? But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. Just like Tootsie. He wouldn't fight and be fierce, no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled, and the banderilleros were mad, and the picadors were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off with his cape and his sword. My goodness, he's having a little conniption fit, isn't he, y'all? So they had to take Ferdinand home. Oh my goodness. Poor Ferdinand. He just wants to smell the flowers. And for all I know, he is sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers just quietly. He is very happy. Doesn't he look nice? and sitting under that tree. I bet it's beautiful there. The end. So guys, did you all enjoy that story time? No, it was a different one. And Miss Tootsie here, she's like being camera shy now. So, hello! Say hello, everybody. It's been a great time. And now she's trying to be ill. She's trying to be like one of them fierce bulls. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, she's wanting to be silly. She's wanting to play. Alright guys, y'all have a great rest of the week. I will probably be on tomorrow. So, y'all stay happy and healthy, okay? Bye.